Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. What's the Season 13 meta gonna be? Valkyrie and Gibby issues, how to improve, Titanfall 3 is coming, and a lot more is what we are gonna be discussing today. All of these questions are coming from you, the community, as we are answering a ton of your questions from my Discord, YouTube comments, and even some Twitter questions. We are starting off really strong with a question from Tim Baker, and he asks, quick ideas on the upcoming meta. This is actually a great question. I have wanted to talk about this for a little while now. Season 12 saw both the flatline and the longbow and the crafter, which actually kind of switched up the floor meta a ton, but even further than this, the Volt went into the care package. It kind of made the energy guns feel really weird. But Season 13, we are for the first time having the R301 kind of go away because the R301 and the Rampage are both going into the crafter, which is going to make those maybe a little bit harder to get or easier to get depending on your playstyle. But really what is going to change the meta a lot, in my opinion, is going to be if you are playing Ranked Apex. In Ranked Apex, you're going to now have D-leveling, and you're also having Team KP or Team Leveling Up. And it's really this D-leveling factor in Ranked that is going to be a huge deal. Now players are not going to be hard stuck 10k Masters or hard stuck Diamond 4. You are going to be able to D-rank, and because you can D-rank, you're going to have to try a lot harder to not die off spawn and not just grief other people's games. It's going to make games feel a lot slower, which in turn, again, is going to make a lot of people run a little bit more range weapons, in my opinion. A gun like the longbow, 30-30, triple take, of course, the flatline that's going to be returning are all going to be very highly used weapons, and I think the meta is going to be kind of twisting over to the long range meta when it does come to ranked. As for pubs, I don't really seeing it change too much, but definitely the meta for next season is going to be very interesting, and it's going to be changing quite a bit. The second question comes from ZZ Raiden. What do you think about Valkyrie and Gibraltar being so dominant in the meta? I'm not really quite sure on this. I would love to see Gibraltar kind of either get tweaked or adjusted. I'm not really too big on him lately. Gibraltar has kind of just been the same for a long time. He's almost like a clutch use in ranked or in competitive Apex. And it's cool. It does make for a lot of really high octane, high action environments, and it kind of lets people survive, so I get it. As for Valkyrie, I've been saying it for a little while now. I'm expecting some sort of small nerf to her, but honestly, I'm kind of starting to backpedal on that. I think that Respawn really likes how Valkyrie is performing. I think they like that people can Valkyrie all around and kind of get to the late game and kind of just survive a little bit longer in the games. I'm not saying that I love that. I don't really love how people just Valkyrie away from you all the time and are just running away, but I can't see either of these legends getting some small tweaks when Season 13 does roll around. Zach H asks, what's the best tip for a beginner like me in Apex? Absolutely just land hotter, or at least land next to hot areas and just take fights, and also don't play scared. You don't want to be cowering in the corner while other people are improving and becoming great. Don't do that. Just take fights. Wasabi asks, what do you think the best legend comp for Newcastle is going to be? I can absolutely see Octane being very good for Newcastle because you are going to be able to kind of hop on Octane's pad and go straight into a Newcastle ultimate to fortify up an area. And adding on to that, I think Valkyrie again is going to be very good with Newcastle, so you can fly around and then quickly fortify up. I do think Newcastle is kind of going to feel like the Gibraltar role. James asks, what made you focus on YouTube over Twitch as your main platform for content creation? For me, it was absolutely all just about lifestyle change. I just could not keep up with the hours required to stream on Twitch, to get everyone to go over to Twitch. Just didn't make any sense anymore. Keep everyone in one spot on the YouTubes, on the Twitter, on the community Discord. That way we can all kind of interact with each other. I don't have to remember what people's names are on YouTube and then go over and remember that this person was that person on YouTube, but now they're on Twitch. Don't have to do any of that. Everyone's in one spot. I feel like the YouTube community is a little bit better for me as well, because obviously I have grown on YouTube quite rapidly, more than Twitch at least. I do love Twitch. I love streaming on Twitch a little bit more on YouTube. I think the user interface on my side was a little bit better, but I do not like the way Twitch is going. I actually think Twitch could be closed down in a few years. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Stuart Hartley asks, what do you think Apex needs to rise above the competition? Fortnite, Warzone 2, does it need more game modes, a more appealing season, legends, and a map? In my opinion, they need a season like Season 9. I do agree. I think Apex could use another season that was like Season 9, although Arenas, in my opinion, was definitely a failure. I don't think it was as popular as they wanted it to be, but I do think they need kind of a big hype season like Season 9 was. Season 13 and the stuff going on around Season 13 is going to be very interesting. I will say I know a little bit more than you guys do, at least at the time of the posting this video, and I think some stuff that is coming is pretty exciting, but it's not quite like Season 9 was, in my opinion at least, so I do think they could use something like that. As for rising above the competition, I don't think they need to rise above Warzone. I think they are already above Warzone. Fortnite is kind of its own thing. Fortnite is just completely dominant when it does come to like overall player base. These games can coexist. You know, people can like both. People can like one or the other. it's not a bad thing. AC Tizeps asks, how long did it take you to make videos before you started getting noticed, and what role does streaming play on the journey? When I first started out, I streamed a ton. I was streaming like 200 hours a month, just wasn't working out. I transferred to making videos. I've always wanted to make videos. It kind of took me like 5 months or so to really start getting my videos to get a little bit of traction. I tried a lot of different things, and to this day, I have the kind of mantra of trying one new thing every single video, try something new, and I try to do that to this day. So try new things. Nathan asks, what legend do you think is the best to play for fun? For me, it's going to be Pathfinder. I just really like his movement. Thermal asks, what is your favorite video that you have ever made? Bonus question, what is your favorite legend to play? Just answered that, but my favorite video is actually the video that's coming out next week. I don't want to spoil it, but it's a sequel to a video I dropped over a year ago now, and it's probably the biggest video I have ever created or released, and probably the video I have put the most time into ever. Very excited for you guys to check that out next week. Simplify asks, what consistency of uploads on a YouTube channel do you recommend for smaller channels? Honestly, just upload as much as you can, as frequently as you can, especially if you're like under 50 to 100 videos. You gotta just make videos, try things out, see what works, see what doesn't work, and just improve. Yazo asks, when did you get your first heirloom? I got my first heirloom about a year and a half into the game. I was level 500 for maybe about 6 months, and I had to buy like the last 60 packs to get it. Sherm asks, what did you play before Apex, and why did I start playing Apex? I was playing Titanfall a lot. I played a lot of Titanfall 1, not as much Titanfall 2, which is kind of like the opposite of most people, but I also was playing Destiny before Apex came out. I was playing Fortnite a lot. Shane asks, if you were to implement a regional Pathfinder buff, what would it be and why? Probably something like slightly faster zipline travel would be pretty good for Pathfinder. Something like 10 to 25%. I don't think you can do healing on ziplines. It would just be way too crazy, way too good. People could just kind of zipline back and forth while healing. I don't think that would work, but I think slightly faster movement on zips would be pretty interesting. Golden Olive asks, do you have any pets? I have one cat named Merlin. If you did submit a question on the YouTube channel, I greatly appreciate it, but we are now going to be going to the Discord questions. If you want to join it, it's TimProVision. There's a link in the description down below. Starting off, why did you decide to start making videos? And this was from Tuipical. I hope I pronounced that right. Basically, I have always wanted to do it. I've wanted to do it for a long time. Ever since watching Halo, like 2 montages, even before YouTube came out, I've always wanted to make videos. I was 29 at the time. I knew if I wasn't going to do it now, I probably would never do it. So I just jumped right in, and it has been working out. Ali asks, what's your setup? I'll throw a picture of it up on screen for you. It's been kind of an evolving setup over the years. I am going to make a video on it eventually. I think it would be worthy to share what I have put into it. Shadowman asks, what is your other job? If you are unaware, I do work a 9-to-5 job. I'm an architectural designer on top of also doing content creation. It's been an absolute trip. I'm pretty close to becoming an architect. I could start to take the tests if I wanted to right now, but I'm honestly just trying to focus up on YouTube because YouTube has taken off and it's been pretty great. Jelly Share asks, if you could remove any weapon from Apex Legends, what would it be? Honestly, don't think I would remove any weapon, but I guess if I was going to remove one weapon, I think it would be the charge rifle. On the other side, C22 Gaming asks, what is your favorite weapon and why? It's going to be the flatline, just because of its hybrid viability. You can use that mid, close, and even kind of like long ranges. Dutch Van asks, do you play any other games other than Apex? Honestly, right now, not really. I played a ton of Halo in the past, ton of COD, ton of Destiny, but honestly, right now, I'm not really playing anything else. If I'm not playing games, making videos, grinding content, I'm just hanging out with my fiance. Fish from San Diego asks, if I were to quit Apex, what would be the reason? It's not fun anymore. You know, I'm only going to play Apex if it's fun. If I'm enjoying making content, I'm going to play it. If I'm not, then I'm not going to play it. Heavenly Foxo asks, what is a good way to evolve skill? Very good question. If you are looking to actually kind of evolve your skill, take it from one level to the next, the best thing you can do definitively is going to be to play arenas or control. And then beyond that, if you are really looking to just play the Battle Royale, it's going to be landing next to hot areas and then third partying. This is going to give you some pretty quick action off the spawn, but you're not going to be dying right away. Whereas if you are dropping hot and you're not confident in your abilities to slay out, you're going to be dying and you're not really going to be improving. So if you land next to a hot area, you can third party, or at least you can loot up and then take a fight. And this is just going to greatly increase your skill rather than just dying off spawn. Aloha asks, how many hours per week would you say you invest in Apex playing in content creation? How long would you say you played before you got good? Honestly, I would say I was pretty great right away, and that's not really to like be cocky of myself, but honestly, I've just always been pretty good at shooters. I built all my shooter skills up in Halo 2. I put all that time in. I probably played, I think, 15 to 20,000 games in Halo 2, something like 140,000 kills I got. I put a ton of time in that game to build my FPS skills, but right now I'm probably playing Apex maybe something like 6 to 10 hours a week, and content creation I'm probably putting something in like 50 hours, something like that It's pretty much always on my mind 7 days a week. If I'm not working my 9 to 5, I'm putting hours in on it because I do want to take it somewhere special. Sir Sherlock asks, if you could change one thing about Apex, what would it be? It's going to be the audio. JB Gaming asks, was Apex the first game you started making content for? And if not, what game was it? Honestly, it was when I first started making videos, when I was getting like sub 100 view videos, when I was really just kind of figuring things out. I did make some videos on Call of Duty. They're on the channel. I did make a video on Rogue Company, and I even made a couple Halo videos, I think. They're all on my channel. If you want to watch them, you can sort by old and go check them out. They're pretty trash, I'm not going to lie. But, you know, I definitely don't really want to be like an Apex creator in the long run. I would like to be just considered a creator. But, you know, you got to understand what you're good at, what you're bad at. For me, it's never really been about my personality. I know I don't have an outgoing personality. I'm not really great at talking, public speaking, all that kind of thing. So really, I've just been taking advantage of what I do well, and that is kind of informing others, having a pretty average to above average view of everything. I think the fact that I'm not a high tier pro player and I'm not really like a noob, I would say, kind of puts me in an interesting spot where I can bridge the gap between you guys, the average players, and a slightly above average player to the point where I can really provide a very unique perspective, and that's kind of what I bring to my content. Pyruko asks, how do you improve game sense? It really just comes down to playing the game a ton. HD is Lost asks, how do you feel about 3+ years of content being leaked? I feel terrible. I'm not gonna lie. The developers put their heart and souls into the games. Whether you think they're listening or not is not really the question. They are listening, and for their content to be leaked in this manner kind of is devastating for them. I don't try to follow leaks as much as I can. You know, I do follow some leaks because this is more or less kind of my job to be on top of things. But, you know, having stuff leaked like that removes excitement when stuff comes out, when you know it's already coming. And I feel pretty bad. I wish it didn't happen. Raph the Vulcan asks, what gun do you tend to use the least? Probably the P2020. Connie Springer asks, Apex or Titanfall? For me, it's going to be both. I don't really understand why you have to pick one or the other. You know, I think Titanfall was great in its own way, and I think Apex was also great in its own ways. A lot of people like to say Titanfall 2, Titanfall 1, you know, crazy movement games that were top tier. And the truth of the matter is, if Apex Legends didn't come out and Titanfall was abandoned, I don't think anyone would really be talking about Titanfall right now. Titanfall 1 was an Xbox One exclusive game. I was a day one Xbox One adopter, so I played Titanfall a ton. Titanfall 2 launched right between like Battlefield 1 and like Call of Duty, Black Ops 3 or Infinite Warfare or something. Terrible release time it had. Very unfortunate. A lot of people just didn't play it because of the release date. And I feel like Titanfall became more popular when Apex Legends launched and people went back to play the game. I'm not saying Titanfall 2 is a bad game or anything. Titanfall 2 is an incredible game. It's just, I think you can play both and enjoy both. You don't have to pick one or the other. Dylan asks, do you want Titanfall 3? And this is something I did specifically want to talk about in this video. I know Respawn has said a lot, you know, Titanfall 3 is not on the way. We're not working on it. Y'all are crazy if you don't think Titanfall 3 is going to be coming at some point. I don't think it's going to be 2022. I don't think it's going to be 2023, but I would not be surprised if we do get Titanfall 3 in 2024, maybe 2025. There's just so much money there in EA. You know them, they want their money, and they could literally just print money. You know, you release Titanfall 3, it links up to Apex. Maybe Apex comes out with also a Titanfall Battle Royale mode, who knows? And you have this cross-pollination between one game and another game, kind of like Warzone and the Call of Duty games. I think it would be pretty wild. I definitely know that they've thought about it. You know, if I'm thinking about it, the developers who think about this stuff all day have, and Titanfall 3 is going to be coming whether you like it or not, and whether you think it is or not, it's going to be coming. Shadowman also asks, have you ever gotten burnout from playing too much Apex Legends? Absolutely. You know, at the end of every season, probably the last 3 to 4 weeks, I would say, last like third of the season, I definitely feel a little burnout, like I don't really want to play anymore, but you know, I do want to make content and make videos, so I'm pretty much playing the bare minimum that I can to just like make the videos for you guys. I'll say that this season in particular, I definitely took the biggest step back I have ever like taken from the videos I'm creating, basically just because I wanted a little bit of a break. I've been going extremely hard since about 1.5 years, 2 years now. And this kind of links to Danger Buff's question of, do you ever feel pressured when you have to make or release a YouTube videos every day, or do you enjoy it? I absolutely do feel pressure from time to time. Like, I have to release a video, but that being said, I don't think I would release a video if I didn't truly like enjoy the content I was releasing. And it's kind of why I did take a little bit of a break over this past month. You know, I went from posting like 3 short videos a week and 3 full videos to posting just 2 full videos and a little bit more shorts. Basically, posting shorts is a little bit less work intensive for me, so I can get you guys some content, get my name out there still, but not having to put the full time into dedicating, you know, full videos all the time. We're not done yet, guys. We have a few Twitter questions I want to quickly get to. Scro or T. Malaki asks, hope you are well, Tim. My question to you is, what guns would you move into the care package? I want to see the Devotion go back into the care package. Honestly, don't think they would have to change it at all. Just put all the attachments on it. Maybe increase the damage by like 1 per bullet, or maybe increase the mag by 2. I firmly believe the Devotion was the best care package weapon when it was in there. Beyond this, maybe the Massive, you know, the Season 1 old OG Massive was crazy. You could one-tap someone in the head, and I would love to see this go back as well. Xrick asks, I see a lot of debate surrounding the Wingman. There are a lot of people that would like to see it nerfed or put in the care package. What are my thoughts on it? Honestly, the Wingman is a high skill gun. I think you leave it the way it is. I don't really know what you would do to nerf it. Maybe the fire rate would be the one thing to nerf to lower the TTK a little bit, but overall, it's a high skill gun. It's fun. Don't remove all the fun stuff. It's the same thing with the Kraber. Maybe not in competitive, but in like pub games or ranked, keep the Kraber in there. Vod asks, how do you feel that given your following of socials such as YouTube and Twitter affecting your time hanging out with friends and fam? Honestly, it's kind of, you know, it's definitely affecting things. I'm not doing as much with them as I maybe would like to, but I'm kind of in a moment right now and I'm trying to take advantage of it. I know what I have right now is not going to last forever, so I am pretty much just in grind time right now, and I think a lot of them understand and the benefits are definitely visible. Xrick also asks, do you watch ALGS? I do watch a lot of TSM. I kind of started following TSM when Snipedown joined because I was a huge Halo fan. I followed Snipedown for like a decade now, so when he joined TSM, I've kind of latched on. He did leave the team to go back and play Halo, but I've still been following them. And the next question does come from Philip. Philip, thank you for coming by the streams all the time. I do recognize your name. With a new legend every season, do you think it would start to become overpopulated with so many legends in the selection screen, and I think just overall in game? But straight up, honestly, I don't think so. You know, a lot of games have even more characters than Apex, and maybe it'll become an issue in like 4 or 5 years when we're hitting like 40 legends, 50 legends, but until then, honestly, just don't see it being a problem. I think they can balance it, and as long as they are staying on top of the minor tweaks they're doing, I think we're going to be in a pretty good spot for at least a very, very immediate future, and when I say that, I mean at least like 5 years. And TTV Shawty asks, your overall opinion about Apex, guns, map, people, etc. Honestly, overall, Apex Legends, I love it. I mean, of course, I'm making content on it. You know, Apex is a great game. The gun skill, the movement, the overall maps, the feel, the characters, everything is pretty top-notch. It kind of made me want to bring up this one point where, you know, I'm 31 years old, if you aren't aware. I've played a ton of shooter games for about 20, 25 years, and every time a game kind of is on its downswing, on its way out, there's a lot of nostalgia to come around. So if you are enjoying Apex right now, be in the moment, enjoy it. You know, I feel the same way about like Halo 2 back in the day in the mid-2000s, and then Call of Duty, the early Modern Warfare 2 days in the early 2010s. And then I go forward and look back at like the Destiny years in the mid-2010s. And then I even go back just a few years ago when I was playing Fortnite, having a blast with my friends in a battle royale. And I think we're in another moment right now with Apex. If you are actually enjoying it, you know, get past the toxicity, enjoy your time on it, because it's not going to last forever. You know, Respawn's going to do as good as they can with as much as they can with the time they have, but overall, you know, things do come to an end over time. Unless you're Counter-Strike, then you last forever. Be sure to hop into Discord to stay in touch with myself and the community. It's the best way to interact with me. I'm very active in there. Hit that like button, everyone. I appreciate the support. Till next time, happy gaming.